As you've already seen if you've completed Workshop 1, when you have a single phase flow in Fluent, the cell zone condition panel is where you tell Fluent what material to use in the cell zone. If you have a problem that involves multiple species, like combustion simulations, or multi-phase flow problems, then the material is not defined in the fluid zone panel. Instead, the fluid zone, the properties consist either of the mixture or they consist of the individual phase properties that are defined in the multi-phase panel. The fluid panel also has optional inputs for things like frame motion and mesh motion. You can define porous media inputs, you can specify source terms or fixed values, and you can specify a zone as a laminar region as well. In Fluent, you can specify that a fluid zone is a porous region in the cell zone conditions panel. What you do is you click the porous zone option in the panel and then go to the porous zone tab to provide the inputs. What happens in the solver is that a lumped parameter model is used to calculate the pressure losses in the flow based on the resistance coefficients that you provide in the panel. The porous media model can be used to model flow through actual porous media, but also through other uniformly distributed flow resistances like packed beds, filter papers, perforated plates, flow distributors, and tube banks. The inputs that you need to provide are the directional, viscous, and inertial resistance coefficients, and these are entered when you activate the porous zone tab in the cell zone conditions panel. When a zone has been specified as a solid zone, in practical terms, that means that only the heat conduction equation is solved. Flow equations are not solved in that zone. The only required input for solid zones is the name of the material. The material properties themselves are defined in the materials panel. You are allowed to specify heat sources and to specify motion for solid zones. And if the solid zone is rotating, or if you have rotationally periodic boundaries adjacent to the solid zone, then you have to specify the rotation axis, and this will be described in Lecture 9.